Stop for a moment. Don't check your phone. Don't scroll. Just pause. Think about the last time her behavior shifted your mood. It wasn't a fight. It wasn't a breakup. It was subtle. She replied slower than usual. She didn't laugh at your joke. She seemed distracted. Maybe she canceled plans. Maybe she didn't react to your message the way you expected. And suddenly your mind started spinning. You told yourself it didn't matter, but your body felt it. Your focus dropped. You checked your notifications again. You replayed the conversation in your head. You started calculating. That right there is the moment the power shifted. Not because she did something extreme, but because you reacted internally. That split second, when your attention became dependent on her behavior, is when you lost control. Most men believe they lose women because of competition, because of better-looking men, because of money, because of status. That's surface level. The real shift happens inside. The moment you start needing reassurance more than you provide direction, the dynamic flips. The moment you fear losing her more than protecting your standards, something changes, and she feels that shift before you even understand it yourself. Niccolo Machiavelli understood human nature in ways that feel uncomfortable but are undeniable. People do not follow fairness. They follow perception. They follow strength. They follow stability. People don't follow weakness. They follow structure. And in relationships, structure is emotional control. Right now, most men are not losing women because they lack value. They're losing because they're leaking value through insecurity. The first law you must understand is this: attraction grows in space and suffocates under pressure. You think being available proves devotion. You think replying instantly shows care. You think adjusting your schedule shows commitment. But devotion without balance becomes pressure. And pressure slowly kills desire. Scarcity creates value in every system. Attention works the same way. If she knows you're always available, always waiting, always ready, the urgency disappears. This does not mean you ignore her. It means you stop structuring your life around her. You build a schedule that moves with or without her. You train your body consistently. You work on your career. You sharpen your skills. You invest in your future. You spend time with friends who elevate you. You move forward. When your life is genuinely full, your attention becomes selective. And selective attention feels valuable. Think of it like this. If a famous musician gave out free concert tickets every day, nobody would value them. But if the tickets were limited, suddenly people line up, eager for just a chance to experience them. Attraction works the same way. Your presence is your ticket. Make it scarce. Make it valuable. Machiavelli warned rulers that overexposure destroys authority. A leader who becomes too familiar loses reverence. In relationships, mystery is not hiding information. It's not overextending access. The second law is emotional independence. Most men are emotionally reactive. If she's affectionate, they feel powerful. If she's distant, they feel insecure. If she cancels plans, they panic. That pattern gives her control over your nervous system, and the person who controls your nervous system controls you. Think of a real-life example. A man texts her every morning, asking about her plans, commenting on everything she posts. She initially responds warmly, but after a few weeks, she starts replying late, giving one-word answers. Why? Because he gave her nothing to wonder about. His presence became predictable, his attention expected, and predictability kills desire. Contrast that with a man who focuses on building his career, hits the gym, works on skills, and responds selectively. She notices, she thinks, "Where is he? What is he doing?" Suddenly, her mind fills the space with him, and he doesn't even have to say anything. The pull is natural. Machiavelli believed a ruler must remain composed while others fluctuate emotionally because composure signals authority. If your emotional state depends on her tone, her timing, or her approval, you are unstable, and instability feels unsafe. Instead of reacting, observe. She replies, "Late?" You focus on your work. She seems distracted. You stay grounded. She tests you with sarcasm. You respond calmly, not defensively. Calm responses signal strength. Overreactions signal insecurity. When she sees that small changes in her behavior do not shake you, she starts respecting your emotional structure. The third law is pedestal destruction. Many men don't realize they are doing this unconsciously. They overcompliment. They overvalidate. They overinvest early. They treat her like she is the prize before she has proven consistency. But when you elevate someone too high, you lower yourself automatically. Attraction thrives in balance. When you treat her like she is rare gold before she earns that status, she feels the imbalance. She senses that you value her more than you value yourself. And when that happens, respect weakens. A practical example, a friend of mine would tell a woman she's the most amazing person he's ever met after 2 dates. He thought this would make him irresistible. It did the opposite. She began texting less, canceling plans, and eventually ghosted him. Meanwhile, a colleague of mine met someone, complimented selectively, maintained his hobbies, and only invested attention after she consistently showed interest. Within weeks, she was initiating conversations, asking him out, and fully invested. The difference? Value perception, balance, and pedestal management. See her clearly. She's attractive, yes, but she is human. She has flaws. She has fears. She has past mistakes. When you stop exaggerating her value, you relax. When you relax, you stop performing. When you stop performing, you become authentic. Authenticity feels strong. Now you begin evaluating instead of chasing. Is she emotionally mature? Is she consistent? Does she bring peace or chaos? Is she disciplined? Does she respect boundaries? The moment your mindset shifts from, "How do I impress her?" to, "Does she align with my standards?" everything changes. Now your attention is not automatic, it is earned, and earned attention carries weight. The fourth law is measured communication. Most men sabotage attraction by talking too much. They send long explanations. They try to solve every misunderstanding immediately. They defend themselves emotionally. But the more you explain unnecessarily, the more you signal insecurity. Silence, when used correctly, creates weight. Not passive aggression, not manipulation, calm restraint. When tension appears, pause before speaking. Take a breath. Respond with clarity, not emotion. Short statements, clear standards. Then move forward. The man who is comfortable in silence feels centered, and centered men create gravity. Gravity pulls. Think of a manager who doesn't panic when a team member challenges a decision. He listens, he pauses, he responds deliberately. That authority commands respect. Now translate that to relationships. When tension arises, pause. Don't overreact. Respond with purpose. Let your calmness shift the energy. She notices, she adjusts, she pays attention. That's the power of measured communication. The fifth law is controlled depth. You must be stable in your character, but layered in your personality. If you are always predictable, always agreeable, always safe, energy fades. Be disciplined in your routine, but capable of spontaneity. Be serious about your goals, but capable of humor. Be grounded, but not emotionally flat. Humans stay engaged when there is depth, not chaos. Depth. Depth creates curiosity. Depth creates intrigue. Depth makes her feel that she has not fully understood you, and that compels her to pay attention. A real example: a man I know has a steady work routine. He goes to the gym, he reads daily, but he also writes music and paints occasionally. With women, he is calm and consistent, but occasionally he surprises them with creative gestures. That unpredictability and depth creates fascination, not chaos. She sees stability, but there's mystery. That combination is irresistible. The sixth law is true independence. This is where most men fail. They say they could walk away, but internally, they know they would struggle. That hidden fear changes their behavior. They tolerate disrespect. They ignore red flags. They overcompensate because they fear being alone. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler must rely on his own strength, not on dependency. If your happiness collapses without her, you are negotiating from weakness. But when your life stands solid on its own, career, discipline, fitness, finances, mindset, something inside you shifts. You still desire connection, but you do not depend. You still invest, but you do not beg. That internal independence is magnetic. Think of any man you know who is emotionally stable, focused on his life, and doesn't need constant approval from women. That man commands respect effortlessly. People, including women, feel drawn to him not because of manipulation, but because he is a fixed point in a chaotic world. Stability is magnetic. Here is the truth most men avoid. You cannot control another person. You cannot force attraction. You cannot manipulate genuine respect long term. But you can control your behavior. You can control your standards. You can control your reactions. And when you control those, the dynamic shifts naturally. The man who does not need validation becomes powerful. The man who does not fear silence becomes calm. The man who can walk away becomes respected. This is not about becoming cold. It is about becoming solid. When you are solid, your presence changes. Your voice slows. Your posture straightens. Your decisions become deliberate. You stop reacting emotionally and start moving strategically. And that is where real power lives. Ask yourself honestly, can you stay grounded when uncertainty appears? Can you protect your standards when attraction clouds your judgment? Can you value self-respect over temporary attention? If you can, everything changes. You stop chasing. You start choosing. You stop fearing loss. You start creating value. And when you become the source of your own stability, attraction becomes a byproduct. If this hit you, if you felt uncomfortable at any point, that means growth is happening. Type in the comments, "I choose strength," like the video if this made you think, and subscribe to the channel because the next video will go even deeper into the psychology of self-control, power, and attraction. Once you understand these principles, you don't react emotionally anymore. You move with intention, and intention changes everything.